What up? What up? What up, good people? What up, D?
What's going on, champ? How you doing?
Chilling, chilling. I'm chilling. You call me a chump?
I did. I did. I absolutely did. Because you fans, I want you guys to know this, okay? Me and Tyrell love basketball, right? So there will be a 2K season coming up where we both pick expansion teams. And he was talking junk before this podcast. So I had to get you with that one. Sir.
Look, I'm trying to tell you, if for some strange reason, if this season don't work, because we've been having a little technical difficulties,
Yeah.
but if this season don't work,
Mm-hmm.
we should start a new one and just rock with whoever we draft.
No trades?
No trades. If so, it's only one.
Ooh. Let's go two trades.
'Cause two? All right,
Two
two.
trades. Because sometimes the first two picks are people that you really don't want, but you need them
Because
just
we
to
got
get.
we got time today. I ain't got to go to work till 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah, tournament.
Yeah.
Uh, so fans, he still can get that work, no matter what. He getting that work.
But
Speak,
we are
speaking,
back.
yeah. Speaking of work, you want to have a moment of silence?
So he did put in work before. So all right. So I'm gonna say this. Like, I'm glad he didn't die because he just got beat. He died for the greater good of the mutants. So it was more like a suicide mission for my
Ladies and
man
gentlemen,
Gambit than
we're
anything.
back on X Men, and last episode, Gambit had its demise. He got beat, which ended up getting him killed, which
He
he
didn't
died.
get beat. Gambit was the only one that decided, all right, I'm going to destroy this thing before anything else because Magneto's getting smacked around like a little punk after he tried to steal his girl.
Oh, he
Or
stole
he
her.
did steal his girl
He stole it.
after.
He stole it.
But Magneto was getting smacked around like a little punk, so he tried to go out the easy way and act like he was saving people, which I still don't think he's dead.
Okay.
And Gambit was just like, you know what? I'll finish it. I might die, but I'm gonna finish it.
So when we got into his next episode, right? I was expecting it to be like the aftermath of what just happened,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. It was almost
It
like
was,
there's two different stories going on outside of one. This one
no, it was
was
that part
Storm.
two of the storm from that, not the last episode, but the one before that.
Yeah. So this
So
is
it could have
this
been
is one.
episode four,
Yeah.
the
So this is
one
when
where they split
Storm.
it up because they ain't have enough content. How come they ain't just make the storm one just one whole episode?
Uh
I mean, I
I
know the comic book split it up.
yeah. I think maybe because you know how episodes and fillers and movies and everything, you can't put everything in one thing. And like for instance, I think they wanted to break it up a little bit to extend the season. So, but you had to
That,
show you got Professor Xavier back. You got him back in the
bro,
mix.
that's one of my gripes, bro.
Why you have a great?
I'm sorry, but you mean to
It's
tell me
accurate.
this dude supposedly died and just went off to another galaxy to mess with some chick?
No. So what really happened back in the original cartoon? That is how it actually ended. It ended with him going and basically up there. So we kind of knew he wasn't really dead, but they were basically when the Phoenix came, saga, all that kind of stuff. That's when they speak of like how the Phoenix and everything was attacking. That was all in that time period of the old original X Men. So everyone presumed that he was dead because he pretty much saved humanity by calming the Phoenix down. He used all the energy. He had nothing left, and he just basically faded with saying "My X Men" and closed caption. So we kind of knew you can't have a show without Professor Xavier, so we knew he was bouncing back. So we film up there. He's in the Esco suit. He's able to walk around, skeleton suit, and able to do things and actually in the garden, speaking poetry, having the life that he wants to live with another
Right.
psychic. So we also see how there's a sister. We see Ronin the Empire. We see the Creed. We see a lot of like hints that the MCU is coming.
Yeah,
The merger is coming.
yeah.
So I just want to know how you feel. What's your gripe about the fact that he did not want to erase his memory? He wanted to remember the X-Men. You can't have a
So
gripe against that.
nah, it's not the gripe against that. It's the gripe against the fact that you played off this whole big "I'm about to die, my X Men." That's last words type stuff, and
Yes.
you out here having a love affair in, in the galaxy, and
Well,
it's like, yo, like,
that was also like early cartoon days where
yeah,
they never thought that this day would probably have to come. The fact that they had to bring X-Men 97 back in order to get some more popularity tells you how bad the run has been
yeah,
for Marvel. Like we've had a lot of recent mediocre, I don't want to use the word bad projects, but they haven't been what everyone thought they were.
yeah,
So for them to even have to, plus they lost the contract of X-Men for a couple years. Fox had it, X, Y, and Z. So for them to actually try to find a way to bring them back into the actual front, instead of doing a regular reboot, they went back to what they know people will love. So sometimes we're going to get the cringy old stuff that didn't really make sense.
yeah. I mean, I get it. I'm hoping though. I'm
Yeah.
hoping that some more people watch this, so that way when they do bring them into the movies, they can kind of understand how it kind of mixes. Because, like you
So
said, when he's up there, you see a lot of the races that are already in the Marvel movies.
Ben Ray Bill, oh my gosh, he's coming. That's a Thor guy. If you don't know about the Thor, like
Right.
kind of like horse guy, he's coming.
Yeah. And you see his people like in the gardens working.
Yep.
And Xavier was like saying, like, yeah, your people are like colonizers, basically.
Yes.
It's
Yes,
just
he did.
colonizers of the space.
Even the whole empire was built on them basically trying to invade, some takeover. You're safe now with me, but you have to work for me type vibe.
Right.
But the sister wanted to take over power. You also see Gladiator. He's one of the coolest characters, I think. He's basically Superman with a mohawk. The
Right.
space Superman. I freaking love the eye beam thing, everything, the blowing of the air. So, but he has like a mutual respect and rapport with Professor Xavier, and you see how
Yeah.
some people out there are level-headed, but like any family, there's always some kind of rip.
Hmm.
So we see how they basically look at Xavier as less than, as in like he did not belong to be on the actual realm because he is, I forgot the word they called humans, but pretty much you ain't shit. So you ain't supposed to be up here.
I think it was something like the Tarians or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's exactly what. So like pretty much you do not belong up here at all.
Right.
So we see how that goes, and then Professor Xavier, it bounces back and forth. We're gonna talk about the Storm thing in a couple minutes, but let's focus on the Xavier one. That he said he forgot his greatest strength, and I think he's gonna use his psychic ability and power because when the
Right.
helmet
Because
came off,
that's what it looked like at first.
yeah,
Because you're seeing his face pop up in everybody's image.
mm-hmm.
It was like, oh snap, he about to just control everybody, make everything chill. But then you see him teleport to a classroom.
Yes,
And
and
my man was rocking the old school suit though.
so the crazy thing about that is, you remember Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
Okay, they went to the same place. It's like the outer body, like you're not the realm that you actually have where you can talk with the spirits, basically. So another tie into the MCU that they're coming. So you see him basically in a classroom setting and that he can control, hey, raise your hand. He went to straight teacher mode. It was kind of like, it was
Right.
kind of funny at the same time, let you guys know that y'all ain't really what y'all say y'all are. Y'all are
Yeah.
some really, really terrible people. So that happens, right? As an episode, I kind of feel like, I'm not saying it's a filler episode, I'm gonna say it's a connective
Yeah,
episode. Because
it definitely connects everything.
yeah,
Um, and I like the fact of how they like kind of showed Xavier what was going on Earth.
bro, when he started screaming like that, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of chuckled. I kind of laughed a little bit because
Right,
it was
because
kind of a
it's
soap
like
opera laugh.
he's up here teaching. The next thing you know, he got a classroom full of skeletons, and then you see my boy Gambit pop up for one last time.
R.I.P.
Right, giant Gambit, And he's like, "Yo, Gambit," and then he just turns into a big skeleton and then burns his face off.
It's kind of what happened to him.
And he was like, "Yo, like all my X Men are dead. Like I gotta go back."
He had to go back. So that's like the very next episode. But we're gonna talk about the storm part that was bouncing back and forth. Now we see your bird again. And last time we talked about this, I mentioned how the fear and everything was going on. I actually never read that comic when Storm lost her powers. And a lot of people reference that this is what the episode was and him going through her Forge going through what he went through. But did you notice that Forge when he used the magic, it was the same thing like Doctor
Doctor
Strange?
Strange. It looked the exact same way that all of them uses the magic. Even the way it like roped up the demon when it was in the house.
And I don't remember Forge being that much in tune with magic. I don't. Maybe I was like I don't remember that part as a kid, but I like it because I don't. When you think of sorcerer, you think of Jean is the telepathy. You think about
Yeah,
Emma Frost. You think about freaking. You don't really think about Forge. Well,
yeah.
I personally did not think about Forge.
You really don't.
So
But
seeing that
it's
happen,
dope, like you said, it's dope how they made that connection again.
mhm,
So it's like little filler parts in this show that shows you like, all right, we can bring the X Men.
I just see like Scarlet Witch and all that kind of stuff. You get used to that kind of things. But let me ask you a question about Storm got her power back. How'd you feel?
I was hyped because it wasn't the Storm that lost the power. It was the Storm that we know,
Yes,
like
yes, yes.
the Storm with the black suit,
Mm-hmm.
like long hair. She even had the headdress joint. Like this, the Storm that plays no type of games.
At all, bro. At all. And like I thought it was so cool just knowing like she didn't just go save forwards. Like I really thought it was all a mental thing. The fear and all that kind of stuff. You see her basically riding around, you see the wind breeze, you see the water. It's just like she's back in her element. And
Right.
the cool thing about it's like now, but she also towards the end of the episode when Forge turned on the TV, seeing what happened with the X Men. So it's like ending the episode with Professor and also Storm. I'm going to say they are the conscience of the X Men because those two are literally like everyone else is kind of up and down. Well, including Beast. Beast is also level headed, but those two like you need them a part of the X Men. Storm
Yeah.
or Professor Xavier. If not, they crumble, and we're seeing that now.
Yeah.
So what do you think is going to happen next?
It's hard to tell because they jumped around so much. So I think now that we got Storm, so I feel like maybe it can be an episode of the aftermath of the island,
Genosa? Yeah, I got you. Okay.
or it's going to be an episode where Storm and Xavier come back. But I feel like Storm would be the first one to be back.
Yeah, I can see that. So also we didn't mention how we see at the end, and we find out that the Sentinels really were puppeteers to Sinister's ultimate plan. And we see how
Yeah,
they had the Doctor's DNA and how he used it to basically. It seems like he's trying to cause a war. That's what it sounds like. So I think this is going to be more of like everyone runs over to open up in the country. So everyone's going to be there. The X Men are going to fly in on their Blackbird. I think Storm's going to fly over there. I think or Forge. Everyone's going to be there as kind of like memorial slash checking on everybody because no one right now they're all separated. Like the mansion is where Wolverine and them are, so they all get there and they all see the devastation of what's really happening. And then I think that's when you have the connection of the people coming together. I don't think Xavier's gonna pop up to the last episode. I think
I
it's
don't
gonna
know.
be a little bit.
I don't know because I feel like even if okay, even if we waited and didn't do Xavier right away,
Yeah,
I feel like he's gonna have to come back sooner than later because, like I said, I don't think Magneto's dead.
nah, he's not.
And then when you see the fact that um the other guy who's trying to start everything,
Sinister, yeah,
yeah, Sinister, I feel like when they get to the island and see the aftermath, he might pop up and
they try to do that.
basically like yeah, it was me. And then
No.
I feel
Oh, he's
like
going. Okay.
somehow Magneto is going to see that. So
I bet.
Magneto might go back to the old Magneto.
I'm with you with everything besides one thing. I do think if Sinister does come back, I think he's gonna come back as in like almost replacing Magneto and telling people that hey, we gotta come together. We the humans did this to us. I think he's gonna start the rebellion. I think when Magneto does pop back up, they're gonna kind of be like an alliance. I don't think he's gonna snitch on himself. We're just
Yeah,
going to make it as in like the humans have to die, and we are going to do everything in our power. And you're going to get the bad old school Magneto. I am wondering if he's going to come back with a white suit. That's going to be crazy. I feel that's the best costume ever. So we see that, and also you see in the shout out the Rockstar also. They mentioned Nightcrawler. If you look at the previous entrance, like the intro music,
yeah,
replace Gambit. So
yeah. Unfortunately,
I don't mean to laugh. I think the Watcher he's gonna come back. I think he's gonna come back eventually, but
I don't know. I don't know.
it's gonna be when the worlds cross. I think whenever we all, I don't know if I never asked you, Doctor Strange too, Multiverse Madness, the movie when they had the girl Chavez, and everything else, and they were jumping portals and all that stuff.
Yeah,
And how'd you feel about that movie?
it was all right. Um, I mean, it was good to get like the multiverse in,
Yeah.
like really like try to explain it. That was a good way to do it,
Uh-huh.
and and it does kind of lead to like that movie is where you bring in everybody else that you want to Marvel. So
And
that was the movie to introduce how everybody else can kind of meet up.
yeah, so this is my thing. I personally feel that that movie came too soon. So what I mean by that is, I thought the movie was underwhelming. Like I think Doctor Strange One's a classic, but I feel like that one was underwhelming because if you're going to call it multiverse, like you should be able to pop up, and they have reference of excursion coming with other people. You do too much time travel, the actual place implodes, and everybody comes and destroys it. And then you also have reference of being like a cartoon type city and all that kind of stuff. And you saw their animation figures pop up in the movie. I kind of wish that that movie would have came after the X-Men cartoon show, which would allow the reference of the X-Men walking in. You would have like almost an Easter eggs from that. That's
Right.
what I personally would have wanted
That
with the
yeah.
time, because then you would tie in the X-Men and Scarlet Witch and all that kind of things.
Right. Because I was about to say with that, if that was the last or even like this first movie in the new phase,
And you'd be hype as
like
heck.
you could have plugged in like did little Easter eggs and seen people in the
Yes,
background of who's to come because they're explaining this. Like they could have been doing that travel part and they could have seen like a couple of the X Men in the background.
yeah.
Or they
So I
could have been
definitely
on the island.
yes. So that's also the thing about X-Men is that I don't know which X-Men we're going to get. Are we
Right.
going to get the X-Men First Class acting pass? Or are we going to get the with the younger Magneto? Are we going to get the old school original X-Men? Like which are we going to get a whole new cast? Because with multiverse, you basically a bunch of different ones. Are we
Yeah.
going to get Hugh Jackman and Deadpool? With that movie, is supposed to be having some. Deadpool has Cable's time travel thing, and he's supposed to be going around and like having too much fun, which that's going to cause a problem too. I'm just wondering what's going to be next. But the next episode, I'm actually enjoying the fact that this is bringing me back to cartoons. It's actually
Yeah.
I want this season to continue. I don't want it to be a one off thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like the
It
popularity of this
definitely
season,
should continue
yeah,
because like you said, it can be the introduction to new characters in the movies by watching the show first.
bro. Now hear me out. This might sound crazy when I say this. I heard little rumors, but I'm not sure if it's a theory yet. But the popularity of X-Men 97 is being received very, very well. Won't they bring the Spider-Man cartoon back?
So okay.
Because
So
there's one character that I want from there. I'm gonna get to my point. There's one character I want from there. So in the Spider-Man cartoon, you had the old school Venom, right?
mhm.
You had old school Morpheus, but you also had Blade. Blade was in that old cartoon.
So I think since the movies for Spider-Man are doing so well, like they're not rushing how they bring in new characters.
I
Like
can see
it's
that.
like each time they bring in a new villain, it's almost like introduced in the movie before in some type of manner. Like
Yeah.
when they started with like that group, the Sinister Six,
Mhm.
like it was like a symbol, I think, in the at the end of the movie before that showed their symbol.
You have Vulture. Yeah, it's like yeah, you had things leading into it. I definitely see that.
Yeah.
I just want
So it's
Blade, bro. I want Blade.
uh, I mean, we got to see how that new Blade is gonna happen. Like
They keep
what
pushing
is
it
gonna
back.
be in there that can kind of tie him to the Marvel universe.
That's what I'm saying. If you bring the Spider-Man cartoon back, you have this Blade in there. He come
I mean,
back.
but you can do it. You can do it without it. Because, like I said, they
Yeah,
actually did a good job with the Spider-Man series of movies introducing people. So, like, they even talked about the Spider-Man and Venom being in the movie together.
that better be Tom Hardy's last movie. Spider-Man, Amazing Venom 3 better have the Amazing Spider-Man. He better be in this, and it better go hard. Like I want
Right.
Agent Venom, ladies and gentlemen. Tyrell alluded to it. Venom's my favorite character of all time. He is literally that. If I can get Agent Venom, then Anti Venom, he's the GOAT. He's the greatest character of all time. You come on,
Right.
bro.
So you could do that because something could happen to the Tom Hardy Venom in this last one, and then it
Yeah.
finds a new host.
Fun times, ladies and gentlemen. Please like, subscribe. If this episode was a connecting filler slash emotional theatric, Professor's back, Storm is back. What's going
Yeah.
to happen next? Please stay tuned. The playlist is on Ghost Feed Network. We appreciate y'all.
Peace.